Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
What's up, Americans? Kevin Jackson here, getting my time behind the microphone, and I am overjoyed to be here with you. Now, I say that in the context of we all have better things to do. And in all humility, as much as I love what I do behind this microphone, I promise you, as much fun as you may have, there are things you would rather be doing. Maybe playing a little slap and tickle with mama, maybe playing with the kids, hanging out with your favorite jazz musician. I don't know, but there are better things to do than listen to me. But a strong second place is listening to this show. Now, you may know my work. I hope you do. And if you don't, if you're new to the program, go to kjradio.com. You can also find me on Fox News. You may know my books. My latest is Race Pimping. You can get it at racepimping.com. I speak all over the country. And I speak on behalf of conservatism. And we are about to get up, get down, get funky, get loose. Yeah. Yeah. And you know why? You're listening to me. You're listening to me because you have this cacophony of noise that's coming at you. And you don't know what to do. You get up in the morning, and instead of going and enjoying those things that we're supposed to be doing, we are spending our lives fighting for our lives, fighting for our ideology, which, by the way, is right. I was talking about this the other day with some people that said, Kevin, you're on Fox News. Fox News, is the only conservative. Fox News is not conservative. In fact, I will tell you there are so many lefties over there. It's shocking. It's shocking. And the reason why you clamor for the news that I deliver in the way that I deliver it is because it's truth. Look, fair and balanced means conservative. There is nothing fair and balanced about the left when you consider that these are people who will allow trespassers into your country. They won't allow trespassers into their homes and even into their yards, but they want them in the country. They will allow terrorists in America under the guise of refugee resettlement and try to tell you you're an idiot for not wanting to bring these people in who want to do you harm. You understand what I'm saying? There is no fair and balanced in their ideology. These are people who protect pedophiles and protesters who are nothing more than terrorists. If you have to wear a mask to a protest, you're a terrorist. People that are bringing weapons in order to fight against you and I who want to go and just have our voices heard. And they want you to believe that they are the voice of tolerance, that they are the peace-loving individuals. And these are the same people that will tell you that Islam is the religion of peace. And they wonder why we fight them. And as far as Fox News and any of these other outlets go, if you are not talking about conservative news, you are lying. When you bring up the left, you are lying. These are people who will cheat conservatives and not allow us to have nonprofits. These are people who will kill vets at the VA and cover it up. These are people who will kill people in the State Department and pretend it was a video in California that did it. These are the people who will run guns into a sovereign nation, Mexico in this case, in order to get those people to flood our borders and try to act as if we have to do some humanitarian effort to bring Mexicans over after they create the problems. These are people who would rather beat you up than hear you out. And they want you to believe they are the purveyors of truth, that it needs to be fair and balanced. Explain to me how fair and balanced CNN or MSNBC or any of these leftist outlets are when you want to talk about very common sense things like reducing crimes in neighborhoods by building strong families. Oh, there you go with that 4-letter word, Kevin, family. Yeah, family. They are mad at you for Judeo-Christian values that strengthen everything around you. The only thing that holds this frayed fabric of America together is the thin thread of conservatism, and these people want you to believe you're an idiot, and they're willing to fight you for it. Let me tell you something. I have heard the craziest ideas from the left. I have never wanted to write to one of them and say, you need to kick your butt for that crazy view. I might go, look, you are a lunatic of the highest order, but I don't want to fight you for it. These people don't want to fight you for it. They want to kill you for it. I'm telling you guys, sometimes I want to read you word for word what these people say, but then I might have to read you word for word what I tell them back. It's just crazy. But you are here and you are involved in this because you're smart. And this is where the action is. You're likely conservative, which to me is by definition Christian, Judeo-Christian. You are a true cross-section of America, folks. And let me tell you something. You are the most oppressed people on the planet because you've experienced freedom that no other culture has known. I'm talking about Europe. I don't care. Pick your country. Sweden, Britain, whatever. You have extended freedom to the nth degree. Freedom cannot know more bounds, cannot be boundless, or at least more, you know what I'm saying. Freedom cannot be more free than it is in America. So you are at the pinnacle. And what you've watched is this, I won't even call it a slow erosion. It is a fast erosion of your freedoms. And the left want you to feel silly about it. They want to demoralize you. They want you not to support a man who is fighting for nothing more than your freedoms. Donald Trump has done nothing to, remember they said he'll enrich himself. He will try to make more money or whatever. Donald Trump has lost $1 billion as president. You haven't heard about the Trump brand. This man has not marketed one single iota of anything he's ever done since he became president. He is sacrificing. That is what this job was supposed to be. And these people fight him at every turn. It doesn't matter that he's improved employment for blacks. We'll talk about that today. It doesn't matter. They don't care. But it doesn't matter that Donald Trump has sent your stock market portfolio through the roof. It doesn't matter that he's created a better job opportunity for your children, better job opportunities. It doesn't matter that you may have gotten a raise or whatever. Nothing matters to them except thwarting you, stopping you from winning the ideological battle because they must create chaos. That's what the left does. If they don't have that, they cannot be alive. They are the reason that you have shows like Rich Housewives and all the infighting. You've seen how they act. Just watch one of those shows. You'll get what I'm talking about. You're oppressed, folks. The left has kicked you in the naughty bit something good, and you got to soak them bad boys every single day. Yeah, Epsom salt. And then you get up and do it all over again, you warriors. That's what you do. And so that's why I'm here, because I support you 1,000%. I wish I could make more of me, because there'd be 10 of me supporting you 100%. Lots to talk about today, folks. I'm excited. I hope you are as well. You're listening to the Kevin Jackson Show. Back in just a bit, Kevin.
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS or state? The secret to avoiding the IRS nightmare is to seek professional representation. My friends at Security Tax Associates provide the most cost-effective and ethical representation in the industry while helping to avoid seizures, levies, and wage garnishments. Security Tax Associates is here to ensure that the appropriate steps are taken to permanently eliminate any possibility of future tax burdens once and for all. For a free, no-obligation consultation, contact Security Tax Associates, 844-779-4177. That's 844-779-4177. 844-779-4177. Or visit them at securitytaxassociates.com.
Beth Cook Moranville, author of Closer Than Your Breath, a book of hope.
Hope, that wonderful, wonderful 4-letter word that you may feel completely out of. I wrote this book to give you great hope. It's not too late. If fetal position is an all too familiar place for you, I understand. If the next 60 seconds are too long, this book is for you. Wherever you are right now, whether you're dealing with divorce or death or sickness, take hope. You are going to make it through this pain. Don't roll your eyes. I've walked this road and I know it. The best is yet to come.
Closer Than Your Breath, a book of hope from author and speaker Beth Cook Moranville, can be found on Amazon.com or Kindle.com. For more information, visit closerthanyourBreath.com or on Facebook at Closer Than Your Breath.
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. 844-551-8255 if you want to contact the show. KJRadio.com if you want to just send us a note. And I hope you do. We're on Facebook, Twitter. My Twitter is Kevin Jackson TBS, at Kevin Jackson TBS, which is the Black Sphere. Anyway, glad you guys are here. Mitt Romney says that allies won't help racist countries. And I thought about this. I was thinking, Mitt Romney, allies won't help a racist country. He's in a religion that doesn't think very highly of blacks. And he wants to talk about racism. Look, I'm not saying Mitt Romney's a racist. I'm not even saying Mormons are racist. But I'm just saying, don't start talking about racism. You don't know anything about it. He doesn't. It's funny. Every time we have this conversation about America being racist, I remind people that America is, if not the most homogeneous country on the planet, it is in the top 5. Name me a place that has more diversity of ethnicities and cultures than America. Name me one. Oh, Kevin, there's Britain and there's France. Okay, fine. Pick those. Go look at the demographics, and I will tell you. The reason why I'm putting us in the top 5 is because I believe we're number 1 in diversity. But it's tough for me to say. But let me tell you where you won't find diversity. You won't find diversity in brown and black countries. We talked about this a while back. I just decided out of this, in my own little, it's not twisted, but sort of twisted mind, because I look at things differently. I twist them to look at them from a different angle. And I looked at it from all the different angles of the sphere. That's why we call ourselves the Black Sphere. And I went down country by country. Ethnicity. The most racist countries on the planet are black countries. If you're going to measure, by the way, the Democrats and the left like to measure. They like to measure based on, well, you don't have enough blacks and you don't have enough Mexicans and you don't have enough Asians or whatever. Okay, great. Go look at any of the African countries, the 52 or 50, 51 to 53, depending upon how many coups there are going on in the world. Go look at those countries and look at their ethnic breakdown. It'll be Whoobazoo, is 99.9% something, Mumbawa. Okay, it'll be. I'm just telling you, if they could play spot the white dude in most of those countries. There's so few, and I'm going to get to the reason here in a little bit. But so you got these African countries that are anywhere from 90 to 99% black, ethnic Africans, different tribes or whatever, but they're 99%. And they may try to fool you. We've got the Igbo and the Lua and the Yoruba and whatever, and they got all these different tribes, but they're all black. They're all Africans, So it'll be like, for example, in Nigeria, they've got Igbo, Yoruba, whatever. So they will list the 7 to 11 tribes that are the biggest, and the Yoruba the biggest. The next are the Igbos, and then everybody else is insignificant for the most part. There's a third one that's fairly large, but then everybody else is percentage, but they're all black. So all these Nigerians are black. Go to Nigeria. If you don't believe me, you'll see a handful of white folks and a sea of black people, and you never hear people complaining. In fact, if you go around the world and you look at the number of white folks, white people are a far minority. You people take more grief in being the slight majority in the United States and Canada and maybe parts of Europe. And yet nobody ever says a word about the majority. And I'm not talking about, like in the United States, white people are probably down to, 45%, something. They're cutting into your budget. Okay. So you're down to something you're getting smaller and smaller, and it's intentional. And meanwhile, not a single one of these other African countries is getting any more white. They will talk about the browning of America openly as if it's no big deal. Nobody ever talks about the browning of black Africa. And there's a reason. Nobody wants to go. It's that simple. Now, next in line of these countries that are homogeneous are the Middle Eastern and the brown countries. Go to those countries and look at the ethnic makeup and ask yourself, just how heterogeneous are they? These are homogeneous cultures, third world armpits, loaded with, quite frankly, the worst citizens of the world. And why can I say that? Because of the 68 million people who are on the run, the largest in the history of mankind, most of them originate from brown and black countries. That's right. So people talk about all the time, Kevin, white people this, white people that. I'm siding with white folks. I'm telling you right now, kick me out of the black thing. I don't care. I'm still going to be black no matter where I go. But I will go to Sweden. I will go to Canada. Well, maybe not Canada because it's getting brown too. I will go where the white people are. Just tell me where to meet y'all, okay? Because I don't care. I don't want to live anywhere there's brown and black people in mass, because you are going to be on the run. There's going to be some dictator that comes along and wants to kill people, especially people like me that, they just want to live and let live. They want me dead. People in America, these very same mentality that rule these other countries, they would like me dead. The problem they have is I'm pretty tough. So it's tough to kill me, but they'd like to. And let me just tell you, I have guys telling me, I'll see you out. I'm going to do this. You with your family? Fine. Bring it. But I'm just telling you, you ain't going home the same. So look, folks, all I'm saying is you get beat up and people try to tell you, oh, you're a racist country, America. America is not a racist country. You are not racist. You should not fear this word. And you should know that there are warriors out there like me and many others, millions of us, who are willing to fight and die for this country and fight and die for you to be able to hold your head high and say, what are you talking about? I'm a racist. Go look at these ethnicities of these countries and you will see exactly what I'm talking about. And I'm not talking about, small percentages. Why is it that America being no longer white being the majority of the people, and we're still considered a racist country? How are we having that conversation? How are we having that conversation when we have every ethnicity, every creed, every culture, every culture, and we are still talking about this stupid subject? Nobody holds Nigeria to the standard of us. Nobody holds Ghana to this standard. Nobody holds El Salvador to this standard, or Mexico, or anybody else to the standard that they want to hold us to when it comes to race. Nor will they hold them to the standard of how well are your people doing that are of other races in your country. Because last time I checked, Idi Amin kicked out the Asians, aka the Indians, when they were a small minority in his country. How are they faring over there? Outside of South Africa, pretty much everybody else gets their butts kicked. So this is ridiculous that we have this conversation and we don't have the flip side of it. And I want to have the flip side of it. And one of these days I'm going to be talking about this on TV on my own show. I bet you. Anyway, we got a lot more to talk about, folks. Back in a bit.
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show. The Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
Ask Osama bin Laden whether I engage in appeasement. A short day, I killed Osama bin Laden, which we quickly learned that I killed Osama bin Laden, which tonight we are once again reminded that America can do whatever we set our mind to. We reaffirmed our ties to each other, no matter where we came from, what God we prayed to, and what race or ethnicity we were. We were united. We were united, one nation.
There you go.
It was nearly 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
On September 11th, 2001. In our time of grief, the American people came together. We offered our neighbors a hand. Neighbors a hand. On that day, no matter where we came from, what God we prayed to, or what race or...
Did I mention he killed Osama bin Laden?
We were united. We were united, one nation. I killed Osama bin Laden, which we quickly learned that I killed Osama bin Laden, which tonight we are once again reminded that America can do whatever we set our mind.
We can do it. Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. It's the Kevin Jackson Show. Did I mention Barack Obama killed Osama bin Laden? No, I'm not talking about metaphorically. I'm not talking about gave the order. I'm talking about strangled him with his bare hands. Oh, yeah. And I don't mean bare as in, B-A-R-E, like his little hands. I'm talking about bare hands because he's a bear. Barack Obama. B-E-A-R. Yeah, that's how he killed Osama bin Laden. It's funny. So Barack Obama, who is irrelevant, may I say, and he will be in the dung heap of history when Trump is done. Despite the media's attempt to make Barack Obama appear to be relevant, other than the fact that he's the, quote, first black president, he's irrelevant. And the left can't stand this. Let me explain what has to happen here. What has to happen is Donald Trump, who is a rock star and has replaced the fake idol of the left, must be beaten down to nothing. And now what you're starting to see, and this is what I'm going to be talking about here in a second, is the left now has to elevate Barack Obama. They've lost at every turn. It's the Russians, man. Oh, it wasn't. Okay. Charlottesville is white nationalist and Donald Trump is a racist. That's not going to work. So they have to go back to something. The only thing they can do is they say, oh, Barack Obama, he was a rock star. So here's the article. It's from The Hill. He's been out of office for nearly 8 months, but former President Barack Obama remains the Democrat Party's best weapon for 2018. I want to stop you for just a second and tell you, he's their best weapon. This is a guy who was their best weapon for 2016, folks. He was the rock star for them. The rock star for the Democrats lost over 1,000 seats during his tenure, and they say he's their best weapon. I want you to understand the delusion of the left. Name me. That's like saying, hey, we have a coach that hasn't won a single game in 8 years, and we're going to make him our coach for the Super Bowl. Really? That's, by most people's definition, that's lunacy. For the left, he's the perfect person. Democrats are already nostalgic. Here's what they're saying. For Obama, as they battle against President Trump's agenda. When he talks, they listen, as evidenced this week by a tweet from Obama about the violence in Charlottesville, Virginia, that became the most popular in the history of the platform. So they say Barack Obama's popular because he tweeted on Charlottesville and it got the most response ever. So let me explain how the most response ever was attained in Twitter. First of all, the Twitter guy who runs it is a huge lefty. So he's given Barack Obama millions of people. Most of them are frauds. Then whenever Barack Obama tweets, the bots go out and they go, we love him, he's amazing. And they tell you, oh, it was the most looked at tweet. So it would be like Zuckerberg and I are buddies, and I say, hey, Zuck, I'm going to promote my book, man. Can you, give me a hookup? And he says, Kevin, I'll put it out there for you. And he puts it out there, and it goes to 50 million people. It was the most tweeted book ever in the history of evers. Okay? That's the way they do this. But that's how they measure. The measurement of Barack Obama is in a tweet, folks. Are you paying attention? You there. Stop passing notes in class. What I'm telling you is they don't look at the evidence. The evidence sits in the White House. Donald Trump, the guy who wasn't supposed to be there, the guy that Barack Obama mocked and said, at least I will be able to say I was president. He mocked this man. And Donald Trump sits in the White House as evidence of Barack Obama's ineffectiveness. Barack Obama was effective at bringing black people out to look at Jay-Z and Stevie Wonder and a few other key people in entertainment, and who promptly went back home and sat their butts on their sofas and did not go vote for Hillary Clinton. That's what he did. He was in the most, what do they call it? The election was fixed, in the most fixed election. And thank you. It took you too long to give me the word, so don't try to take credit. In the most fixed election in the history of man, Barack Obama couldn't drag Hillary's big fat buttocks over the finish line, and Donald Trump wins. Barack Obama has lost 1,000 seats. Donald Trump is now 5-0, including his victory in the special elections, and it's going to get worse. Donald Trump has effectively taken the nasty, slimy politics of Barack Obama, start straightening them out. He's taking the economy to a soaring heights, to the point where people go, we don't even know who this Negro is, Barack Obama, and suddenly they say we need him. Yeah, here's what they say. The tricky question now facing the party is how to use the former president on the campaign trail. Yeah, I'd say it's tricky. You want to know why it's tricky? Because black people no longer respect Barack Obama. He can't drag out what he used to. White people who used to write these big fat checks are going, what's the big deal? When Barack Obama says he's coming to a fundraiser, look, he's still the best fundraiser for the left, but that's not saying much. It used to be the Clintons. What can they raise? These people have gone from eating pork loin to eating pig's feet, and they're wondering what's going on. Let Barack Obama, look, I'm telling you folks, I'm giving you inside information. When Barack Obama goes to do a charity event outside of Hollywood, the entertainment people, nobody even wants to show up. He can't fill a room. If you're not doing a big event and you're saying, okay, we're bringing the president in, the former president, if you just say Barack Obama's coming, nobody cares. Black churches don't even care. Black churches don't care about Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, Hillary Clinton, or any of them unless they take your tax money and they stage it with a bunch of shills, the same way they use your tax money to pay for Antifa, Black Lives Matter to come out and protest. If it weren't for that, these people can't raise an audience, and they won't tell you the truth about it. They go on to say this. Some Democrats are pushing for Obama to have a more elevated role, but Obama has made it clear he's weary of sliding back into the role of party leader, which could prevent new leaders from emerging. Who are they? Tell us who the new leaders are. I saw one here in Arizona, a black dude. He's a waste of space. I'm going to target this guy. I've seen him all over the country. These young punks that think they're going to step in with this social justice warrior nonsense and talk about how bad it is for black folks. And I'm going to cut them all off at the knees, metaphorically, not literally the way the left would. And we're going to go after these guys. So bring them. Let's see who they are. Cory Booker, Kamala Harris, name them. They got nobody because their ideology is tired. It's worn out. It is oppressed. Oh, so woe is me. Swing low, sweet chariot. It's all old Negro spirituals. And that's all they care about is making people feel less than what they are. I love this. They say Democrats acknowledge that being stuck in the Obama era is a concern, but say the party can't afford to have him on the sidelines. Now, I want you to think about the duplicitous nature of that statement. They're concerned about being stuck in the Obama era, but what do they want? We want Obama. We want our loser. Will you send in the coach that's never won? Democrats badly need Obama, says Brad Bannon, a Democrat strategist. He offers such a vivid contrast to Trump in behavior and temperament. You are so right, Brad. You are so right. Obama acts the part of president and Trump plays the part. Trump is the part. He is it, the real deal. They say he's always sounded reasonable and acted responsibly, even if you disagree with him, Bannon continued. None of the potential Democratic presidential candidates has the visibility or credibility to be effective. They're telling you, folks, there's nobody in the lineup. Barack Obama's it. He is, let me tell you, he was a godsend to us. The Democrats got the best they could possibly get in the history of their party. And they got him in a time when there's nothing we could have done in 2008 to thwart him, even though he was grossly incompetent. And they got him. And they wanted him. And he did exactly what we predicted he would do, what a novice would do, which is run this country into the ground. And now they suffer for it. They want to know, what can we do? What can we do? They can do nothing. They have nothing. You should be cheering me right now. I'll let you do it during the commercial.
Kevin Jackson on the Black Sphere Radio Network.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS or state? The secret to avoiding the IRS nightmare is to seek professional representation. My friends at Security Tax Associates provide the most cost-effective and ethical representation in the industry while helping to avoid seizures, levies, and wage garnishments. Security Tax Associates is here to ensure that the appropriate steps are taken to permanently eliminate any possibility of future tax burdens once and for all. For a free, no-obligation consultation, contact Security Tax Associates, 844-779-4177. That's 844-779-4177. 844-779-4177. Or visit them at securitytaxassociates.com.
Putting an end to identity politics. This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. It's the Kevin Jackson Show. We are talking about the Democrats saying that they need Barack Obama in 2018 because he is still the party. And I say, yes, glad you need him. Shows a level of desperation that you can't even measure. How do you measure the level of desperation that says, I want a guy who got your butts kicked so bad in 2010 that you lost the House, in 2014 that you lost the Senate, in 2016 that you lost the presidency? Over a period of 8 years, you've lost 1,030 plus seats. And your ideology is in triage. Your party doesn't even have a message. Better, better, better. With a pizza message. Papa Democrats. Better, better, better. They don't even have a message. You don't even have messengers. You've got a DNC. How many DNC people have they had in the past 2 years? 3. They had Debbie Wasserman Schultz, Donna Brazile, and now this knucklehead that nobody even hears from. Their party, from a message perspective, is all about oppression and losing and things like this. You had the Pied Piper of leftism and Barack Obama, and you blew it. And now you say, we need Barack. Where's our savior? Wow. I mean, guys, let's not fight them. You know what I mean? I mean, sometimes you get up in the morning and you're kind of looking for a fight. You don't need to look for a fight here. This is too funny. Democrats badly need Barack Obama. I read this earlier. Says Brad Bannon, a Democratic strategist. He offers such a vivid contrast to Trump in behavior and temperament. Yeah, and also in results. Oh, man. Okay, so I'm going to go on with this article I was reading. Others complain Barack Obama has been doing too little to help the party at a time when it is struggling to rebuild. I want you to consider this. The Democrat Party is struggling to rebuild. Okay, what's been the message? Who's been the messenger? They got exactly who they wanted, and they're struggling to rebuild. How do you have exactly who you want, who delivers the message that you say you want him to deliver, and you struggle to rebuild? If at the end of 8 years of Trump, if our thing is, well, we are struggling to rebuild the party, shame on us. I couldn't even imagine that. You look, all along the way, while they were losing all these state legislatures and governorships and whatever else, they should have been asking themselves, how do we reform our message to fit? We don't need to reform our message. That is the beauty of conservatism, people. Hallelujah. Somebody come over here and fan me. I'm about to preach. It's getting hot. It's getting hot. So, look, I don't know why this tickles me so much, but it does, because I cannot understand how these people want Barack. I don't even believe it's true. I think that's part of it. I think this is a ruse of the media to say, we want Barack. He's amazing. Come on now. Everybody join. They don't want him. Look, Donald Trump is exactly what we asked for as conservatives. Now, I know there's a lot of you that go, oh, Kevin, I wasn't a Trump fan. I get it. But you know what? I'm going to tell you, I speak for you in this case. Sometimes you don't know what you want. You wanted a flawed candidate who could withstand the barbs, who could get in there and fight dirty. Now, you may have wanted him to be a little more polished or whatever, but at the end of the day, you wanted a guy who could deliver results, and that's what you got. And let me tell you, he's already delivered miraculous results. I talked about the fact that Donald Trump has cut $100 billion plus off of the debt. He's reducing the deficit. Stopping these criminals from coming over into our country, stopping terrorists from coming into our country, raising our profile in the world in a good way, backing down North Korea, probably got Iran on tilt. I don't know all the details there, but the economy booming, stock market through the roof, jobs creation, you name it. And he's just getting started. And this is fighting the media, people. I want you to understand what Donald Trump will do, because it's going to happen. When the media finally has to start recognizing what he's doing, when they finally have to start going, wait a minute, unemployment for blacks dropped a whole point? What? And black people start encouraging and praising him. I'm not talking about guys like me. I'm talking about leftist blacks. When they start saying, leave Donald Trump alone. Stop with all this nonsense. It's already started. We had one guy, he spoke in Charlottesville about the nonsense. Let's go ahead and play that clip, even though it's kind of out of context for this. Let's play that clip because I want people to hear this.
White people, they done created cell phones and everything else, cameras, all this modern day stuff. How in the world is you gonna go all the way back into the history of time and turn the clock back when you're supposed to be going forward? No, because time is meant to go forward, not backwards. Those people that want to go backwards is those people that's a part of another type of world. If y'all believers in God and know what the fruit is, love one another. Everybody needs to get on their knees and start praying and start harnessing this power. Because right now, look like hate is trying to harness this power. It ain't about that. This love is supposed to harness. What a harness of power at? Get on your knees and pray, folks. Stop all this madness in front of these babies.
Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson. That was an angry black man who's angry at BLM and Antifa and mostly blacks. And he's saying, why are you turning the clock back into the 1960s? We've evolved beyond that. This is not some polished black dude speaking from Wall Street. This is a dude from the street saying, look, I see it. This is an OG, folks, an original gangster, a guy who was probably born in the late 50s, early whatever. And I mean, he's sitting there telling truth to people, saying, what are you talking about? Do you think he's a lone voice? Let me tell you, the overwhelming number of blacks in America are sick of being judged by a handful of thugs. And they're ready for somebody like Donald Trump to step in and make things right. And they don't, look, don't misunderstand me. A lot of these blacks have been trained to just come to, like Nadal. We need to kill the president. Stuff like that. They've been trained, but the people that really count, the ones who day to day get up and are not following the news cycle because they're just struggling to get by, when they start to see gains in their own situation, and they will, you're going to see a complete change. And that is going to really screw up the world of the left. I want to go back to this article. Brent Butkowski, former Democratic aide and columnist for The Hill, said Obama should, quote, play a far more aggressive role starting today to win back the House and the Senate in 2018. Now, what Democratic, I want to just ask you, forget the Democrat or Republican, what strategist do you know who would pick a guy who lost 1,030 seats in the House and legislatures around the country, the House, the Senate, governorships, and judgeships, which are so important? He's losing those as well. Who would say, we want this guy? I don't even see how you could make a comment like this and continue to keep your job. He goes on to say this, though. America faces an enormous political crisis, and it is unconscionable how little Obama and other former top officials have done to help Democrats since Trump began his ugly abuses of power. Now, let me tell you what that statement means. That means when he tells you that the Democrats and Obama have said nothing, it's because they have nothing. Do you think if Trump were really screwing up, do you think Barack Obama would not chime in? Think about it. I said in the earlier segment, The biggest tweet in Twitter's history was when Obama chimed in on Charlottesville. Now, they faked that. But whatever number of people that listened to it, that was their only play, was to try to make Trump look racist on the heels of Charlottesville. And so that's when Barack Obama chimed in. He could have chimed in on North Korea. He could chime in on a variety of things. He hasn't done it. And the Democrats who've chimed in on Russia, they've chimed in on racism. I don't know what other retread they're going to dig up from the grave and try to put to Trump. Nothing works. That's what he's telling you. Then he says this: under Obama's 8 years, Democrats lost power. At every level of national and state government, Obama should feel an urgent sense of duty, especially on fundraising, and act with the fierce urgency of now and not generic promises about the future. That's what this guy Bukowski said. I want you to be, we know you're a loser, but you can fundraise. Help us to fundraise. He goes on to say this: Obama should spend less time giving paid speeches and more time raising money for Democrats. So what Bukowski wants is Obama to become a slave to the Democrats. Go raise us money, black man. Stop making money for yourself and go raise us money. We put you where you are. It is time for you to pay us back, slave. Oh yeah, I'm breaking it down for you. But that's what he's saying. Now, Obama's been involved in fundraising. He's met with various people, but he is not going to stop his light. He got what he wanted, and Democrats, stuff it.
He won't stop until he's the top-rated radio talk show host in America.
What kind of weird competitive freak are you?
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show. The Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
What's up, everybody? Kevin Jackson here. It is the Kevin Jackson Show, KJRadio.com. Lots of new developments coming up. Some we can talk about. I will be hosting Fox News Radio next week, a couple of days. I'm also talking to Fox about some other things. So we'll see what happens. And every time people ask me, Kevin, what do you want? Look, it's all God's plan. If Fox decides, Kevin, we need to do a TV show, whatever, I'll gladly do it. I'll be up there doing quite a few shows, but I'll gladly do it. If they don't, it's okay. I'm happy to be a guest and give good commentary, what I hope is good commentary, representing you folks. And people ask me all the time, Kevin, are you really giving your opinion or Fox? Look, I only give my opinion. I give my opinion on this radio show. I give my opinion on TV, on other radio shows. That's it. The reason why I believe I've had some success, I don't know how much you want to determine that is, but it's for two reasons. One, my faith in the Almighty, and two, my belief that what I say, being from the heart, being what I believe to be a God-driven message, is the reason that I'm successful. To whatever degree. Are there people doing better than I? Of course. But I don't measure that way. All I care about is getting the word out in the way that it should be done, which is in truth. And by the way, it impacts me. Everything, when I talk to you guys about good versus bad, right versus wrong, trust me, we may live our lives 98% right. That 2% wrong makes us unworthy of the grace of God. And I don't make any apologies for the fact that we all sin. We all screw up in one way or another. Maybe it's how you, treat your kids, or you've talked to your children, or you treated your spouse, or some ex, or maybe what you've done at the job. Who knows? But I do know this. We know right from wrong, and we try to achieve that as best we can. And that's what separates us from them. That is why to err on the side of conservatism is to be on the side of righteousness, because you know you're not going to be perfect. You cannot be sanctimonious up in here, because you know you've screwed up and you will continue to screw up. But the left, they screw up, and you know what they do? They want to change the narrative. They want people to believe that they are tolerant, loving individuals as they pay people to go out and kick your butt when you go to a Trump rally. For the record, there was a Trump rally yesterday in Phoenix, standing room only. I got the memo. It said, be there. The thing started at 7 p.m. You know what time they told people to start lining up? 6 a.m. But the left wants you to believe nobody likes Donald Trump. They told you this during the campaign. Who likes that guy? What do the rallies mean? The rallies where you got to get there 12, 13 hours early to get a decent seat and it's standing room only when you get there. And Donald Trump just comes in and puts out his message, something you probably could hear on TV, but you want to be a part of that history, is happening all over this country. Let me ask you a question. If you had a Barack Obama rally today, wherever you live, is it standing room only? Are people waiting to get in 13 hours in advance? The answer is no. They're sick of him. Hillary Clinton, could she do it? The answer is no. Name me one person in politics on that side of the aisle who could do that. Name me one person on our side of the aisle outside of Trump who could do it. Now, here's what I'll tell you, people. I don't have to take a poll for this. I know the results of my poll. You just took it, and you know what you're thinking. That is not some anecdotal likability or whatever. That is somebody who's changing the direction of this country, and the left knows it. And for the record, this is what's going to come into 2018. But the left, they can't let you see that. They don't want you focused on the idea that the people are going to be waiting out there from 7 a.m. until whenever in order to get in to see Trump. And we put video up of it. But I'm just telling you, they don't want you to see that. They want you to think everybody hates him. Trump, nobody wants to hear Trump. Trump started this phenomenon during the election cycle, and it continues. I dare you to do this. Get Bernie Sanders and say Bernie Sanders is going to speak wherever, and see how many people line up in advance to see it. College kids no longer have any faith in that fool. So all I'm telling you folks is look at your real evidence. 234 people were arrested and organizers who'd recruited them using the website Disrupt J20, and they provided them with lawyers and jail support. The housing, the food, the organized activities, the defense attorneys at the ready made the riots possible. I'm reading to you something that happens in location by location. Why doesn't the news report this to you? That these riots are being funded, that people are already there to provide food, housing, defense, etc. for these rioters. Because the leftist media sees protest as a tactic. That's what Tim Graham of Media Research Center said. See, they call Tea Party events AstroTurf. What Trump is doing is a Tea Party event. They want you to believe it's fake. Nobody cares about Donald Trump, which is exactly why he got elected. These are true grassroots events. They are telling you the state of the nation. Phoenix, Boston, where did he do the one before that? Somewhere in Florida. I don't know, but I'll tell you this. Wherever Donald Trump says he's going to meet and tell you his message, he gets crazy tweets. I gave you the story of the Twitter thing. They said Barack Obama tweeted on Charlottesville was the most ever. Woo-hoo-hoo. Donald Trump tweets and the world listens. I didn't know what Barack Obama said. You probably didn't know what he said about Charlottesville, and nobody gave a crap because it was nothing but bots. It was fake Twitterers, tweeps, whatever they call them, who they said, oh, Barack Obama spoke on Charlottesville. Nobody cares what Barack Obama has to say, but everybody cares what Donald Trump has to say. And I'm not talking about just the left, and I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about North Korea. I'm talking about Iran. I'm talking about Russia. I'm talking about China. They're all watching his tweets. Let me ask you this. How many of these world leaders do you think are give a care about Hillary Clinton's tweets, Bill Clinton's tweets, Barack Obama's tweets, Michelle Obama's tweets? Name me somebody that Putin is looking at their tweets. Get up in the morning. I want you to make sure you follow these tweets. Make sure that you follow the following. Donald Trump. That's it. He's the only person that matters in the political discourse now. And we are fortunate. I'm not talking about kissing butt fortunate, but we are fortunate to have somebody who has our best interest in mind and who people will they're caring about what he has to say. So look, they don't want you people. The left doesn't want people to believe that the Tea Party is alive and well, that Donald Trump is a resurgence of that movement. Tea Party 2.0. Go to Tea Party community and join, people. It's a new site. It's got mobile ready, etc. And we're going to need warriors out there fighting for the cause. Back in a bit.
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS or state? The secret to avoiding the IRS nightmare is to seek professional representation. My friends at Security Tax Associates provide the most cost-effective and ethical representation in the industry while helping to avoid seizures, levies, and wage garnishments. Security Tax Associates is here to ensure that the appropriate steps are taken to permanently eliminate any possibility of future tax burdens once and for all. For a free, no-obligation consultation, contact Security Tax Associates, 844-779-4177. That's 844-779-4177. 844-779-4177. Or visit them at securitytaxassociates.com.
Beth Cook Moranville, author of Closer Than Your Breath, a book of hope.
Hope, that wonderful, wonderful four-letter word that you may feel completely out of. I wrote this book to give you great hope. It's not too late. If fetal position is an all too familiar place for you, I understand. If the next 60 seconds are too long, this book is for you. Wherever you are right now, whether you're dealing with divorce or death or sickness, take hope. You are going to make it through this pain. Don't roll your eyes. I've walked this road and I know it. The best is yet to come.
Closer Than Your Breath, a book of hope from author and speaker Beth Cook Moranville, can be found on Amazon.com or Kindle.com. For more information, visit closerthanyourBreath.com or on Facebook at Closer Than Your Breath.
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. KJRadio.com. 844-551-8255. We'll be playing some callers' comments here in a bit. I'm talking about the fake news, the fake narrative, the fake protesters, etc. of the left. You should feel vindicated every time you find out that these people have no message, and the only way they have a message is when they buy it. Let me ask you this. Is there passion if you buy? I'll just use prostitution as an example. Is there passion in prostitution, or does somebody just do a job and then that's the end of it? See, that's exactly what these people are that come out and protest you. They are prostitutes. They've been paid. And the minute they leave, they don't care. And you know what else they do? Let me tell you what this prostituting of the American public by the left does. These people leave and they go back and they go, where have you been? Oh, man, I was paid to protest against Trump. Oh, you were paid to protest against Trump? Yes. So what do you think happens when these people look at the other side when it's time to vote? It may not be right away, but eventually when these people get in the ballot box and they say to themselves, you know what? I was paid to protest against Trump. Whoever runs against Donald Trump in the next election cycle, people are going to remember, wait a minute. This guy was successful doing a lot of good things, and people paid me to go down there and spew venom at him when I shouldn't have. Now my cousin has a job. Now so-and-so is back from the war that he never should have been in the first place. Now my mom just was able to start her own company. My dad is no longer paying $1 gazillion for Obamacare. And they had me protesting, spitting at this guy, trying to threaten people that wanted to vote for him. The Democrats are sealing their own fate. I'm starting to sound like Farrakhan. The Democrat, the demon, the white monster is sealing his fate. You see, my brothers and sisters. Oh, man, they don't even realize it. They don't even realize what they're doing. And it's so funny to me because they don't play it out to the end. You pay, okay, so let's just do the numbers. You pay 500, 1,000 protesters to come out and protest Trump. Must be anti-Trump, whatever. They go protest. How many friends do they tell? I'm going out to protest Donald Trump. Some of them are going, what for? Others are going, I don't care. But then there's a few that go, yeah, go do it. And there are others that are, they don't, it doesn't really matter. But here's my point. 1,000 people are going to have 4 or 5, 10 people that know what they're out doing. And every one of those persons, when Donald Trump starts having success, is going to remember somebody was paid to protest him. It wasn't organic. When let me tell you something about the Tea Party. Go to teapartycommunity.com and get signed up. But let me tell you something about the Tea Party. I was never paid to go to a protest. When they had rallies, if I was a speaker, they make, Kevin, we're going to handle your fees and all that, your ability to get here and all that. But I went to, conservatively 120 Tea Parties, and maybe I got paid as a speaker at 5 of them. But the overwhelming majority I traveled with, they picked up my expenses, but that was it. And nobody got paid. All we did, we went, we rallied the people, and it was passion, man. We were in love. Puppy love at first, but that puppy love can now become a marriage, because the version 1.0 Tea Party, which did a lot of good work, and I'll give some people some credit. Mark Meckler had it in his heart to do the right thing, and Jenny Beth Martin ruined it. She's practically bankrupted the Tea Party patriots. But now the new version's up, and it's going to be an activism version that the left has never seen. And I'm telling you, there are good people behind this effort, and there's passion. It's now to go from puppy love to full-blown marriage. But the left have nothing close. Black Lives Matter. Seriously? Let me tell you about Black Lives Matter. Funded $650,000 by one of the Soros Foundation's groups. And then they announced that it was launching a fundraising campaign to raise $100 million to support the lie, the racist lie of Black Lives Matter versus All Lives Matter. Well, Kevin, we understand all lives matter, but black people have nothing special. But the minute somebody starts talking about that, you just cut them off. You have nothing special, Negro. I'm black. I feel no more special than any other man, woman, or child. I think my kids are amazing, but I believe other parents think their kids are just as amazing. We're no more special. And trying to make me special means you want me on the short bus. You don't have to put me on the short bus. But they're paying these people. Breitbart reported when they hacked Open Society Foundation documents, they found out that the Black Lives Matter group was being supported by subversives like George Soros, and how much money they want to put into this. I want you to think about that for just a second, because I get a little bit upset when I think about the amount of money that leftists will raise to fund a Black Lives Matter movement, and you can't get conservatives to rub 2 nickels together to help somebody like myself who will counter them at every single place they go. I would counter them with somebody intelligent who's willing to stand up and fight against them and call them what they are: terrorist, racist terrorist, ethnocentric racists who care nothing about their own situation, as if their situation was unique. And by the way, the people who've created their situation, the situation of Black Lives Matter, are black people. Let's just put it out there. It's the truth. So you're creating your own ecosystem, and then you want to blame everybody around you for that ecosystem. Yeah, cops coming down here and beating us up. Yeah, because you commit a lot of crimes, fool. Stop committing crimes and cops will stay away. Cops would rather eat their donuts than go to the hood and have to watch their backs. Even paramedics don't want to go to the hood. How sick is that? I don't know, these protesters. I've talked to these people, paid protesters. I've asked them, so why are you here? Man, I don't know. I just go. They gave me a check. They told me meet in Ferguson, meet in St. Louis. How did God tell me that? At a TGI Fridays. Because I was like, what's up, man? Hey, how you doing? Many black people coming there around the heels of Ferguson. And I'm asking, why y'all here? Oh, man, we came up from Chicago. Really? Yeah, they paid our way. Shoot, man, it was a free trip. That's what I had a brother tell. It was a free trip. Why wouldn't you go somewhere if somebody's paying the freight? Like, I can't argue with that. I mean, got you out of the city. He's living better than he lives at home. They get him an apartment. They pay him, I don't remember the money, but it was pretty good money. And they covered his food. and he's hanging out with other people. He's hanging out with, young girls, I mean, I'm just telling you, it was a way for these guys to hook up. Don't believe him for a second, folks. These riots are nothing new. They're going to keep happening, but they're not organic. There's no passion in them. There's no movement there. You think the Democrats will find their message in one of these riots? Oh, we just found our message. Good job, guys. Now we can go back to work. They don't have a message. The only message they have is chaos. Create it wherever they can.
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show. The Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Kevin Jackson here. We had a couple people that called in, left messages. Let's play a couple of them. I wanted one of them was around renaming D.C. Here it is.
Yes, this is my comment. They were talking on Fox this morning about what they should name Washington, D.C., because everybody wants to take, all those historical names off. What about Swamp City? I like that. I mean, they're all swampy, sewery people.
Swamp City, I like it. That's exactly what it should be called, Swamp City. Just like New Orleans has been renamed Chocolate City. Ray Nagin renamed New Orleans. We will rebuild New Orleans, and we will make New Orleans a chocolate New Orleans. We will call it Chocolate City. That was the equivalent of Guam tipping over. The people don't believe that Ray Nagin said that. You don't believe it? My producer's telling me people don't believe that a guy would actually say that about New Orleans being Chocolate City.
We as black people, it's time. It's time for us to come together. It's time for us to rebuild a New Orleans, the one that should be a chocolate New Orleans. And I don't care what people are saying, uptown or wherever they are. This city will be chocolate at the end of the day.
Did you hear at the end? The lady goes, and first of all, the guy's like, come on now, preach, brother. And then at the end, the lady goes, with some icing on the cake. Chocolate New Orleans. Chocolate City. When I did karaoke, my roommate would I hate to say this, but it's true. So you guys may not have seen the movie Coming to America, but they had Eddie Murphy was a singer and his band was Sex with Chocolate. And so my roommate, every time I do karaoke, he go, we got Sex with Chocolate coming up. And it would make me want to do the song Eddie Murphy did, The Greatest Love of All. I believe the children are the future. Oh, man. Sex with Chocolate. Anyway, that isn't even what I wanted to play. Y'all got me going. Let's do another caller. Because this one guy, he called in, and apparently he's never heard the show. He was passing through Salem, Oregon. What's up, KYKN? Yeah, the folks up at KYK in Salem, Oregon. Gatorstown. Gator is the PD up there, good friend of mine. And he was passing through and he saw my billboard, so he tuned into the station and then he left this message for us.
Hey, KJ, came to Salem, Oregon for the eclipse. I saw your billboard on the freeway. Currently stuck in traffic, exercising my freedom to call you on the phone. I am very happy to hear such views being espoused by yourself and your colleagues over at the station. I believe in the freedom of every individual to do as they will. And I know that Donald Trump will ensure that those freedoms are maintained and protected for every individual in this great nation. I am so glad that there are God-fearing people such as yourself. And I'm sorry that you had to come back to America from Canada and see that the left had instigated those events in Charlottesville. Those charlatans in Charlottesville need to be damned to hell. I can't handle these snowflakes and their abominations parading through our streets with their Black Lives Matter and their Antifa. I can't believe this stuff. I have to stop myself there. You can see I get a little excited when I talk about this kind of thing. But I just so glad that our freedoms are being protected, and that you're the vanguard of it. You're the face to the movement. So keep protecting our God-given culture and our way of life. And if those people, those leftist snowballs, if they need to snowflakes, if those people try to go into a bathroom whose gender or they try to this pot weed, if they try to talk about how the right is racist or anything against the right for that matter, it just makes me so mad when I hear it. So thank you, Kevin, KJ. I don't know your whole name. I apologize. Like I said, just passing through Salem. But it's good to hear the truth.
Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. That was a caller who was going to see the eclipse, saw my billboard, my beautiful visage, and it so motivated him, he tuned in. I hope he's still listening. I don't know his name. I hope he's still listening. And he decided to invoke his passion. And, you know, when you were listening to him, it was on a cell phone and it broke up a little bit. But as you were listening to that guy, did you sense his passion? Let me ask you this. How passionate do you believe the average leftist is about the state of their party? A party that has no message. A party whose messenger is MIA, and most of them are happy that he's MIA. They're begging Barack Obama back. You know why they're begging him back? We did a segment on this earlier. They're begging Barack Obama back, and they're saying, look, man, you didn't save us. You were supposed to save us, Barack Obama, and you failed. And where are you? You're gallivanting around with wealthy people. You're speaking for crazy amounts of money. You have abandoned everything that you claimed you're for. And you know what, Barack Obama? Well, you know, I'll tweet every now and then. I'll do something. I'll let you know I'm here. Barack Obama cannot re-engage. And he knows why. How much of a loser do you want to be, Barack? Donald Trump's waiting on you. He's baiting you with everything that he's... Donald Trump just disbanded this climate farce. He just overruled them on what was this? It was called Operation Checkpoint. He just got rid of Operation Checkpoint. He's dismantling all the pieces of Obama. He's gotten rid of $2 trillion worth of onerous government regulations. He's undone executive orders where he could, and he's looking at others. He's still dismantling Obamacare. It's going to die on the vine, and I could go on and on. And where's Barack Obama? MIA? He's supposed to be fighting. You remember, he's setting up in D.C. He moved in Valerie Jarrett. They're going to have a war room. They got this big database that they're going to be talking about. Barack Obama got a database. That's what Maxine Waters said. Can you find that clip? Yeah, so Maxine Waters, he got a database and it'll blow you away. Let me tell you what it can't blow away. It can't blow away passion. Let me give you an example. You could be a good-looking guy, good-looking girl, and you go into a bar. Let's just use the bar scenario. And there'll be lots of people in that bar. And unless you are drop dead gorgeous or whatever, the overwhelming number of people that look at you are just like, hey, another pretty person in the bar. But there'll be somebody in that bar who looks at you differently, who gives you the look. And you'll go, that person, you know, there's something there. Now, you could go hit on I'm using guys. You could go hit on another girl. And she'll entertain your conversation and whatever. But the one who's looking at you going, you would do yourself a lot of good to go over and spend time with her because she's going to give you passion. The other girl may give you a little time. She may go, you know what? You've grown on me a little bit, whatever. But the other girl is telling you, I've got passion for you. Give me a shot. And see, that's the difference between us and them. We have this caller had passion for me. It's a bromance. What can I say? It's unrequited because I don't know who he is. But, you know, I like the dude. My producers are like, hey, slow down, Chemo. Look, my audience knows I'm completely heterosexual. I'm over the not gay movement, the NGMW, not gay man woman movement. And we're going to reinstate this, and you can buy our bumper stickers and our flag, which is a camo flag, and we're going to make this a big deal because I love my not gay man woman movement. But the reason why I'm bringing this up, folks, is we don't have to, we're not contrived. We don't have to drag people over to our side. The left have to drag you over or they have to pay you. And if you're smart, you'll figure out it isn't enough. So let me put it a different way. How many protests can protesters go to? I mean, Donald Trump has reinstated the big rally. You know, Tea Party people were throwing rallies back in 2009 through 2011. We were throwing big rallies, you know, from local to D.C., anywhere from hundreds of people to tens of thousands of people. And some people would even say millions. I don't worry about the count. But, you know, big crowds. I was in D.C. on the national lawn for some of them. I know I spoke to at least 200,000 people in D.C. at one point. So there's a lot of folks there. We had passion. And then it went away because we went to work. And now that passion is back because it stayed with you. It hadn't gone away. It just went on hiatus for a little bit of a vacation. Took a rest. Call it whatever you want. But the left, what did they try? The Coffee Party, Occupy Wall Street. Where's Occupy Wall Street? Would somebody put out an APB for them? A BOLO? A Be on the Lookout? Black Lives Matter is dead in the water if it weren't for funding by the leftist, you know, pukes. None of these things work for them.
Kevin Jackson on the Black Sphere Radio Network.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS or state? The secret to avoiding the IRS nightmare is to seek professional representation. My friends at Security Tax Associates provide the most cost-effective and ethical representation in the industry while helping to avoid seizures, levies, and wage garnishments. Security Tax Associates is here to ensure that the appropriate steps are taken to permanently eliminate any possibility of future tax burdens once and for all. For a free, no-obligation consultation, contact Security Tax Associates, 844-779-4177. That's 844-779-4177. 844-779-4177. Or visit them at securitytaxassociates.com.
Putting an end to identity politics. This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
Young men and women we send fight our wars abroad deserve to return to a country that is not at war with itself at home.
Welcome, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. It's the Kevin Jackson Show. That, of course, was President POTUS 45, Donald Trump, saying to the young men and women who go off to war, when you come home, you need to come home to a civilized country. You need to come home to something that is representative of what you have done on behalf of this country. And because of leftism, we don't have that. We have people who want to create strife from nothing. The Antifa people, the Black Lives Matter people, the leftists in general, all they want to do is complain. They want to bellyache. These people are over fighting in third world armpits, hot, in the worst possible conditions, day in and day out, and they do it on behalf of us, and they have to come back to a country where leftists call them baby killers, say that they need to be on watch lists because they might have PTSD, kill them in waiting list, don't give them the best service. But boy, when it's time to tout them out there and, ooh, look at the military, the left are the first ones to grab our veterans and act as if they give a crap. They don't care. They're not fooling me. They might try to fool somebody else, but they don't fool me. And I doubt that they fool you. Trump went on to say, we are not nation building again. We are killing terrorists. We're not going to put whatever the amount of money is. I don't know how much it is. I know this, it's billions, if not trillions of dollars that have gone into wasted efforts. efforts that can be undone because some little pansy president like POTUS 44, Barack Insane Obama, decide they're going to change our entire strategy. It's no longer America first. It's no longer deploy our troops to win so we can get these kids home, back to their families, back to their lives. He employs a strategy of tuck your tail between your legs and run. Left billions of dollars on the table in hardware, $1 billion in the bank that ISIS brought to bear against us. But he says he loves this country. He claims it's for the better. We are fighting, spending more money than we ever have because of the lack of backbone of Barack Obama and the leftists that support him. And they claim they want him back. Good luck with that. Unfortunately, folks, when we talk about killing terrorists, the American terrorists are excluded because we're civilized. We won't kill Antifa. We won't kill Black Lives Matter. They can kill us. They can beat us. They can threaten us. They can kill cops. But we can't do anything. Well, let one of those suckers hit me or shoot at me. Watch what happens. I'm just telling you, I'm not standing idly by. I'm not going to let somebody terrorize this country because political correctness says, oh, no, they're a good group. They are terrorist organizations. Look at any video, any footage of them. Look at just still shots. You will see guys with bats, with tonfas, with you name it. They've got weapons. They've got knives. They've got all kinds of stuff. You'll see them right there. How many cops need to be killed by BLM? There were 6 killed in Dallas. How many more do you need to see killed before you figure out who they are? New Jersey had the guts. New Jersey said, you know what? We'll call them what they are. They called Antifa a terrorist organization. I don't know what it means. Does it mean that they get special, treatment in terms of the law? Don't care. But I know terror. I know that when the Tea Party marches, there was no such thing as terror. When we gathered with the idea of talking about our common values and why. We explained why we wanted to be a part of this movement, the best movement in the history of man. Why did we do it? This secondary Tea Party was better than the first, better than the Boston Tea Party. Boston Tea Party got fed up with the simple tax of tea. Now, maybe there were other taxes, but it was a simple tax of tea. I don't know how many of the other ones, but I'll guarantee you this. There are 10 times more taxes on you as a person now than there was then. I don't know what a retail tax was. I don't know what a personal property tax was. If that existed back then, I doubt it. I bet you didn't have to get a fishing license. When do you think marriage licenses came into play? When do you think taxes on alcohol and cigarettes came into play with people who were distilling their own alcohol, their own spirits, and growing their own tobacco and whatever else? What else could be taxed? Was there a gasoline tax? No, there were no cars. I'm just look at every tax you pay and ask yourself, why does government have to be involved? And the short answer is they don't. Government inserts itself. It finds a place to burrow in like a tick and start sucking blood. And that's what it's done. So this Tea Party was much more important because that was one of them was the founding of the nation, and you can't downplay that. This one is, will this nation continue to exist? That's why I put so much effort into TeaPartyCommunity.com to let people know there's a place to go. There's a safe haven. The Tea Party has done miraculous things for this country and will continue to, but it's having to go through a renaissance. The people who commandeered it when it first came out, excuse me, have mostly gone away except for one organization with Jenny Beth Martin, and I've heard it's about to go bankrupt. And we are stepping in as Tea Party community, but we're not going to, it's not, Jenny Beth was determined to go up and talk, hobnob with, the leaders in D.C. and stuff like that. That's what she wanted to do. She wanted to be a mover and a shaker. Couldn't even get a credit card in her own name. And thought she could run an organization with her husband, who, by the way, was under indictment. So you got these people running this organization that don't even know what they're doing and running it under, quite frankly, some very unscrupulous ways, and they've run it into the ground. But at its core, it's still amazing. And so somebody has to take that mantle, and I'm going to be that person, or I'm going to build a team that's going to be that. If you want to be a part of it, I would love to have you join. Be one of our state reps that helps put this together. We're going to be working with the guys at the Convention of States, because we're going to put this deal together to make the Tea Party a solid name in politics. That's what it should be. Anyway, we're dealing with all these issues, and one issue I want to talk about has to do with the Canadian hypocrite by the name of Trudeau. Yeah, it turns out that the Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, who upon Trump's election didn't waste any time in telling illegals and refugees that Canada would be their rescuer. In January, Trudeau tweeted, "To those fleeing persecution, terror, and war, Canadians will welcome you regardless of your faith. Diversity is our strength." And that was in direct response to Donald Trump's anti-illegal immigration platform. And conservatives all over our country tried to explain that any nation should have the right to insist people immigrate legally. America's a nation of laws. Obey the law, partake of our national identity. Disobey, you'll be deported, theoretically. Trudeau supporters lauded him as a hero for speaking in defiance of Trump. And then we find out, well, maybe that wasn't the case. It was an article written by a friend of mine, Kira Davis, and she says, lo and behold, just months later, Trudeau is starting to sound like Donald Trump of the Great White North. Migrants and illegal immigrants have been streaming across the Canadian border seeking asylum. It seems Trudeau's comments led many to believe that they'd be fast-tracked for citizenship if they were seeking asylum. And the numbers have been overwhelming, forcing Trudeau to address the problem. CBS News reported in a press conference Trudeau gave on Sunday regarding immigration issues and asylum seekers. He has a message for them. Crossing illegally into the country doesn't offer an advantage when it comes to obtaining refugee status in Canada. So in other words, he's saying, get here legally. If I could directly speak to people seeking asylum, I'd like to remind them there's no advantage. That's what he said in Montreal. Our rules, our principles, our laws apply to everyone. Now suddenly he wants to declare that Canada is a nation of laws. Government of Canada has been grappling with this surge that he created. This is exactly a great taste of liberalism because he created this surge. In the first 2 weeks of August, more than 3,800 people walked over the border into the province, compared to 2,900 roughly who crossed throughout all of July. So they're more than double what they're used to getting. So he's finding out that liberalism is screwing itself, and that's what always happens.
He won't stop until he's the top-rated radio talk show host in America.
What kind of weird competitive freak are you?
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show. This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
Welcome, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. It's the Kevin Jackson Radio Show, KJRadio.com, 844-551-8255. So, Mark Zuckerberg wants to be president. And why not? He's rich. Don't rich people own the world? I mean, this guy, look at how rich he is. He should control all thought. And he kind of does. Yeah, see, Facebook, and I've been warning you people about this for quite some time, they determine whose message gets out. And they have decided arbitrarily that yours shouldn't get out. Because Zuckerberg knows better than you. But he doesn't want to just prove it on his social media platform. He believes he's smart enough to run the country. And why not? He's good at coding. So Donald Trump says, take him seriously. He's got enough coin, he could buy the election. Does he not buy? Why didn't he buy a bunch of black folks and put them to work? Why doesn't he buy us some schools and put them, he gave $100,000 or $1 million or $100 million to so-and-so. The guy's a multi-billionaire. He can do that. He could single-handedly decide he wants to change politics in the black community and do it if he only knew what to do. The problem is this child, because that's what he is. Zuckerberg may be rich. He may even be smart. But when it comes to life, he's a child. He's running around places now. I want you to think about it this way. This is a kid. I don't know his background, but I've ventured to say he grew up middle class. So he's a middle class kid. He has no earthly idea of the problems facing America. Then he gets a boatload of money dropped in his lap, and he travels around the world in private jets, meeting with heads of state, and he still has no idea what it's like to grow up anything close to what I grew up, and I can't complain. There are people who were far worse than I, even though I was poor. There are people who were far worse, missing meals. Father, a crackhead in prison. I mean, my dad was a crackhead in prison, but I was raised by my grandparents. I'm saying far worse. You name the bad situation, I can find you 3 kids I've gotten adopted who are far worse than that. And if I don't know them through those kids, I know them through family or friends or whatever. I don't know just anecdotes. I know most of these stories, folks, because I know people directly involved. And practically all of it. But Zuckerberg, he knows. He's got it down. He understands the black condition. This is the guy that wants everybody to get a paycheck for doing nothing. He wants to be your next president. He wants to usher in socialism because he has a successful social media site. Have I mentioned teapartycommunity.com and why you need to be there and why you need to take your money away from this clown and put it, and we don't make a whole lot of money off of you, but I'm saying you need to take the money that Zuckerberg's making off of you. You need to put that into something real, into projects that are real. And I'm not talking about TPC, is what we call it, as a commercial for it. I'm talking about it because it is going to save your political life. You don't have to believe me. But if you continue feeding Zuckerberg, and my hand is up, guilty on Facebook all day, trying to get our stuff promoted through Facebook, practically begging these guys to open up the spigot so we can reach a larger audience. Do you think he cares? Do you believe in your heart of hearts that Zuckerberg says, you know what, I got to let these conservatives get the word out? No, he will shut your page down. Say something that remotely looks like you're not going to support Muslims, he will shut your page down. Do something that remotely looks like you're going after women. Even if you just say something like, hey, I thought the women's lib deal made women the same, he'll shut you down. You don't even know why he shut you down. He doesn't have to tell you. And the government hasn't done a thing. I would love to be the first one to sue that sucker, get my $100 million because of the time I spent building a page or something, and make him have to pay and then get others to do the same. Maybe they do a class action lawsuit and they shut him down. See, that's what they need. That's what the left has to have. Otherwise, they think they're okay. They think they're right. That's why I love what's happening to Chappelle Nadal. We'll talk a little bit about her this segment. Well, this hour. But yeah, she's in trouble. And rightfully so. Yeah, she did her mea culpa. I apologize. It's between me and my God. Yeah, invoking your God, the God of hate. The same one that rules over the religion of peace. Is it that God? Folks, we are under fire. I'll give you another example. There's a leftist, a former CIA agent, Valerie Plame, or Plame, whatever. She wants to buy Twitter. She wants people to fundraise, what do they call it? Kickstart enough money for her to get a voting block in Twitter so they can do what? So they can shut President Trump down. Hey, Valerie, here's a little suggestion. If the owner of Twitter can't do it, neither can you. See, because if they did that, I would instruct the Justice Department to shut Twitter down. That's what I'd do. Or I'd say, well, you know what? You want to do this? We're going to put some emphasis around people that have similar code. There's another Twitter out there. It's a conservative version, just like teapartycommunity.com is a conservative version of Facebook. There's a Twitter company, a company that competes with Twitter. It's conservative owned. We should be over there. But you know what we fight for every day? how many new Twitter followers we have, how many new Facebook followers, how many people can we get to come off Facebook and go read my work over here or there. That's what we're focused on. We don't see the big picture, but the big picture is called the big picture for a reason. We need to start paying attention. Anyway, Valerie Plame wants to buy a controlling share of Twitter. She says, from emboldening white supremacists to promoting violence against journalists, his tweets damage the country and put people in harm's way. She's describing Barack Obama. Yeah. Barack Obama has done more to bring back white supremacy than any president in history. He's the Andrew Johnson of presidents when it comes to bringing back white supremacists. He's better at it than Woodrow Wilson. And on the second part, violence against journalists, is Valerie not, does she not get the memo that Barack Obama has prosecuted more journalists than all the other presidents combined? Yep. People don't know this stuff. Put people in harm's way. But so she set up a GoFundMe page. But threatening actual nuclear war with North Korea takes it to a dangerous new level. I don't know that Trump threatened nuclear war. He threatened a response. But even if he did threaten a nuclear war, I'm not going to be mad at him. If Trump says, look, we have nuclear weapons in our arsenal for a reason. It's DEFCON 4. You jack with us and you'll get our nuclear arsenal. Anyway, lots to talk about. Leftists, they are stunned by Trump. And I'll share some stories with you as to why. We got to take a short break. We'll be back in just a bit. Keep it here. You're listening to The Kevin Jackson Show.
This is The Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS or state? The secret to avoiding the IRS nightmare is to seek professional representation. My friends at Security Tax Associates provide the most cost-effective and ethical representation in the industry while helping to avoid seizures, levies, and wage garnishments. Security Tax Associates is here to ensure that the appropriate steps are taken to permanently eliminate any possibility of future tax burdens once and for all. For a free, no-obligation consultation, contact Security Tax Associates, 844-779-4177. That's 844-779-4177. 844-779-4177. Or visit them at securitytaxassociates.com.
Beth Cook Moranville, author of Closer Than Your Breath, a book of hope.
Hope, that wonderful, wonderful 4-letter word that you may feel completely out of. I wrote this book to give you great hope. It's not too late. If fetal position is an all too familiar place for you, I understand. If the next 60 seconds are too long, this book is for you. Wherever you are right now, whether you're dealing with divorce or death or sickness, take hope. You are going to make it through this pain. Don't roll your eyes. I've walked this road and I know it. The best is yet to come.
Closer Than Your Breath, a book of hope from author and speaker Beth Cook Moranville, can be found on Amazon.com or Kindle.com. For more information, visit closerthanyourBreath.com or on Facebook at Closer Than Your Breath.
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
President Trump, I apologize to you and your family. And I made a mistake, and I'm owning up to it. I have learned my lesson. My judge and my jury is my Lord, Jesus Christ.
Oh, you gotta love it. Welcome, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. It's the Kevin Jackson Show. A race pimp outed. And this is serious for her. Well, I was asked on TV what I thought would happen, and I said, I don't think she's going to get fired. I don't think anything's going to happen to Nadal. I think they'll wait it out. I don't know. You're aware of who she is, right? Wanted the president to be assassinated. For most ordinary Americans, if you say, I want the president killed, I think he sucks, I want him dead, you go to prison. Yeah. Leftists just pretend to apologize, though. Then they wait it out. No prison time. No. All they got to do is abide by the master's wishes. Might even get promoted. Because that's what Nadal was counting on. I told you guys the other day when the story broke about this, I said, Nadal is used to the muscle memory of the Obama era. Talk what you want about white Republicans. Who cares? It's a white Republican. Girl, you go for it. Say what you want to say. Don't let nobody stop you. That was the old way. During the era of zero, the era of Obama. But see, people have changed. People have said no more, no mas. Tired of the racist rhetoric and the race pimping of leftists. And justice cometh. Justice cometh. Feel like I got a lisp. Anyway, she posted this thing on social media, took it down immediately. She knew it. She knew, oh, shoot. And let me tell you, when Chappelle Nadal posted that, she was confident. It took somebody calling her saying, look, Maria, I'm not trying to tell you what to do, girl, but you need to take that tweet down. You think so? I'm telling you, you better take that tweet down. Boop, boop. Gone. Thought she could whitewash history. It was gone like one of these Confederate statues. The statue of Donald Trump, I want him dead, gone. It's like Kathy Griffin. She'd love to make sure that picture of her holding up Trump's head is gone. Scrubbed from the message books, whatever, from the history. It's not going to be scrubbed. It's going nowhere. It's there forever. It will live in infamy. Donald Trump, the man who saved this country, and there are people who want him dead. Yep. Fox 2 News says Republican and Democrat state leaders rescinded all the committee assignments of Democrat Senator Maria Chappelle Nadal. That comes after the St. Louis area lawmaker has resisted calls to resign for posting a Facebook comment last week that said, I hope Trump is assassinated. These people have taken her off of all her committees. You paying attention? She had been a member of 9 legislative committees. Senate President Pro Tem Ron Richard and Minority Leader Gina Walsh rescinded those assignments. 9 assignments gone. And I don't know what she was on, but you can bet it had to do with race and class. And she was a rabble rouser, a big mouth, never adding anything good, just something bad to say all the time. Me, 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 me. Anyway, she deleted that comment, apologized. It was a half-hearted apology. I played it. I really want to say to the president and his family, I forgive. Just please forgive. No, she didn't even say that. She said, I'm really sorry. You are sorry. Phase 1, baby. Kicked off of 9 committees. It ain't done. I was asked, what do I think is going to happen? I said, I don't think they're going to let her go. I might have to change my mind. The left have a way, though, of sweeping things under the rug in hopes that situations return to normal. And normal, just so we're clear, is when you, Christian conservatives, are getting your buttocks kicked butt hard by the people who want to assassinate our president. Ergo, assassinating you. These are the people that have shut your voice off of college campuses. You're excluded. You pay the money. You send your kids there. Your chids, as Michael Jackson said. And the chid is not my son. I'm getting hoarse. Billie Jean. You send your chids to college in this den of iniquity, and they come out more stupid on the other end. That's right. You send them there. Chappelle Nadal. Losing all her situation. Ooh, I love it. She wants to skate. She really does. See, we got pushed around by these leftists. They offer their insane ideas as progress, when in fact it's anything but progress. They don't offer you any progress. And so Nadal wants to save her career. She still believes herself to be worthy of something. She can advance enough in her career. For what? Why does she want to advance? Let me tell you why. She wants the power. She wants the power of invincibility. That's right. Look at her mentors. People like Maxine Waters. Maxine Waters has said some of the most racist, incendiary things for 15 careers. She's still there. John Lewis, civil rights relic. No, wouldn't even know how to spell civil rights. Sheila Jackson Lee. Can you get any more ethnocentrically racist than she? All members of the plantation black elite. And if you get to that lofty position, folks, you can be racist with impunity. You don't account to anybody except the Democrat leadership, the people that know where the money is. That's who you're beholden to. The next and necessary step, folks, is for Chappelle Nadal to be expelled from office. For Democrats to have any semblance of justice, she must be removed. And if a state senator can threaten the life of a president, then anybody can, right? That's a pretty high spot. Now, here's what's interesting. It requires a 2/3 vote from the Missouri legislature. And it's pretty likely there are 115 Republicans and 45 Democrats in the state legislature. So the Republicans are 71%. If it goes as expected, as it should go, Chappelle Nadal is NFL. Not for long. You can bet there will be Democrats that will vote her out. It's a Democrat that says he's going to raise the resolution to get rid of her. Folks, how many times can I tell you that things are changing? This is what I'm talking about. So this lady does her little mea culpa, her little dog and pony, and it gets her in big trouble. And I couldn't be more happy. Here's what she said in her statement. President Trump, she called him president. I apologize to you and your family. I also apologize to the people of Missouri. And I also apologize to my colleagues in the Missouri legislature for the mistake that I made. And then she goes on to talk about, I'm going to get right with God. You can bet she stands by that silly statement, folks. She wants to keep her job and her racist, anti-American attitude. And that's it.
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
One of the chief architects of Obamacare is now out of work. The Rutland Herald reports Jonathan Gruber will no longer work for Vermont's healthcare system after the state settled a fraud suit. Gruber was accused of charging the state for work he never did when he was hired to craft a single-payer healthcare system.
Welcome, everybody. Does it seem like the left is unraveling? I mean, Gruber, remember when he was in the news when he effectively said, yeah, we tricked you on Obamacare. It was we designed it in such a way that it would be tricky. And of course, the Supreme Court, Roberts, gave us this monstrosity. But let me tell you, it always comes back to get them. And such as Gruber. Gruber is a brilliant guy, economist from MIT. Now he's a pariah. He's got the bug. He wants to skate as well. But he's not the only thing. What about Fox talking about Lynch and Clinton and this new revelation? Let's play that clip because I want to talk about that a little bit.
Breaking news on the FBI's decision to reopen its search for documents on that secret meeting between former Attorney General Loretta Lynch and former President Bill Clinton last year. The department initially claimed there were no documents that existed on the meeting. Well, the American Center for Law and Justice knew that wasn't true, demanded some answers. They've gotten hundreds of pages of emails, and they've made some interesting discoveries. Jordan Seculo is an attorney for the group behind the request for information from the FBI. Good morning, Jordan.
Good morning, Shannon.
All right, I understand that you have uncovered something that may link back to now Special Counsel Robert Mueller. Tell us about that.
That's right. So we've been going through these 413 initial pages that were delivered by the Department of Justice, because the Department of Justice actually did say that they had records when we took them to court and sent them over these 413 pages a couple of weeks ago. So we've been kind of going by them line by line, individual by named individual. And we found yesterday, one of our attorneys was going through this, younger attorneys was going through this, and he found that one of the names that was not redacted by the FBI, but was an FBI press official who received an email from the Washington Post about whether the FBI agents and Bill Clinton's security detail, President Clinton's detail, coordinated the meeting between Loretta Lynch and Bill Clinton on the tarmac in Phoenix. The press official contacted at the Department of at the FBI, at the Department of Justice, is now the head of press for Robert Mueller's special counsel team. His name is Peter Carr. So Peter Carr was directly involved in the Loretta Lynch, Bill Clinton tarmac meeting response and press response, and now he's leading the press team for the special counsel investigating the Trump campaign in Russia.
Holy cow, how is that for a revelation? Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. KJRadio.com. 844-551-8255. Bill Clinton set this meeting up with crooked Loretta Lynch. That's it. Americans knew this from the start. You certainly did. Come on, work with me now, conservatives. Only a fool or a leftist, redundant, I know, would believe otherwise. We wrote of the discovery of the tarmac meeting at the time and the revelation that there was evidence to this effect. It's been proven time and time again as the long list of scandals involving the Clintons has been brushed under the rug, and they got help. And I said at the time, recall the famous Phoenix meeting on the tarmac between then Attorney General Loretta Lynch and Bill Clinton. The meeting happened while Hillary Clinton was under investigation for her private email server, yet Comey curiously found, did you hear my voice crack? I'm going through puberty again. Curiously found no connection between the two, declaring the event serendipitous. He was asked at the time, people, pay attention. He was asked, is there any connection? Do you have any data, any type of information, emails, etc.? And you know what Comey said? We don't have anything. The ACLJ then gets the records. They poured over these records that were given to them at the time. And here's what they wrote. We just obtained hundreds of pages in our ongoing investigation in the federal lawsuit on former Attorney General Lynch's tarmac meeting. And they said, the new report, and they said the results are shocking. First, the Comey FBI lied to us. Last July, we sent FOIA requests to both Comey FBI and the Lynch DOJ asking for any documents related to the Clinton-Lynch plane meeting. The FBI, under the then dictatorship of James Crooked Comey, quickly replied, no records responsive to your request were located. Now let me explain Comey and language. Notice what he said. No records to your specific request were located. Now how many outs does that leave him? No records to the specific. How specific do you need to be? And were located. Located how? Meaning I couldn't physically put my hands on them, or we couldn't find them on the internet. What? He left himself wiggle room. Now you and I, we're smart. We understand exactly what he's saying. He's saying, I ain't giving you anything. And that's what he gave him. Gave him nothing. They said, interestingly, documents existed regarding the infamous meeting where Lynch and Clinton struck a deal. Yes. It's clear there were multiple records within the FBI responsive to our request, is what they write, and that discussions regarding the surreptitious meeting between then AG Lynch and the husband of the subject of an ongoing FBI investigation reached the highest levels of the FBI. Comey knew he's a crook. And now he's got a multi-million-dollar book deal. He's running, looking for extradition. Crooked man. Crooked man, I tell you. I'm going to go Chris Tucker on you. So then we get breaking news about more. We find out that the guy who ran interference, who was the spokesperson, well, we don't have anything. I mean, what are you people here to see? Turns out he's been promoted. He's been bumped up. He now serves at the behest of Mueller. Mueller? The Nazi Mueller? So Mueller, who's now running his witch hunt on Donald Trump. Hey, by the way, anybody heard anything from the Russians? Huh? Dos vidanya? Where are we to? Where are the Russians? Where's the scandal? Where's Manafort? Where's Jared Kushner? Putin. Why haven't we heard Putin's name in a while? Where are these people? So anyway, now the guy who was over this whole thing is a guy named Peter Carr. And you can bet your sweet behind that Mueller, whatever his name is, special prosecutors, he knew that the guy who was a spokesperson for the Department of Justice, who lied through his teeth, he's now part of the Mueller investigation. See, leftists don't care. The end justifies the means. Now here's what Carr, I did a little research. Carr posted this on his Facebook page. No, LinkedIn. That's what it was. More than 15 years of experience enacting communication strategies for top officials in the U.S. executive and legislative branches. All these communications guys are looking to get to the pinnacle. They want to be the president's, person. Now, what's interesting about this is Carr, with his 15 years of experience, 5 of them were spent with Orrin Hatch, where apparently Carr likely honed his skills as a rhino. Let's hope that Trump begins to untangle this web, people, because it is intricate. It is a swamp you've never seen in your life. See, we need to have leftists doing the perp walk. We only need one. A Hillary Clinton, a Barack Obama, somebody like that. We need one of these suckers doing the perp walk. Then I'll feel vindicated. Well, you? I'd like to get more. But I'm saying if we get that one. And here's a little thing about Peter Carr. And it was in response to an ethics inquiry about one of the members of Mueller's team while Carr was still under the watchful eye of Jim Comey. They said this: Peter Carr, the DOJ spokesperson for the special counsel team, said in an email only that, quote, department ethics experts reviewed Mueller's situation. Lawyers at Mueller's former firm, Wilmer, Cutler, Pickering, Hale, and Dorr, represent individuals who are reportedly part of the Russia investigation, including Trump's son-in-law and senior advisor, Jared Kushner, and determined that Mr. Mueller's participation in the matters assigned to him is appropriate. So apparently, Mueller's former firm represents Kushner and also who else? Anyway, let's see, his son-in-law and senior. Jared Kushner. That's it. Son-in-law and senior advisor, who's the both. He's both those roles. They represent him, and so there's a potential conflict of interest. I would say to this. Now, I know that Kushner didn't do anything, but I'd be concerned because Mueller has access to that previous law firm, and you cannot trust the left. You can't trust them. So this adds another layer of intrigue to this whole situation. And I'm telling you right now, I've said it once, if I've said it 1,000 times, somebody's going down hard over this one. I'm telling you, folks. I got my popcorn.
Putting an end to identity politics. This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
Oh, what a tangled web we weave when we practice to deceive. Welcome, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. It's Kevin Jackson Show. We don't deceive you here. We give you the straight skinny, the straight scoop. We tell you the dress makes you look fat. Sorry, baby. Makes you look fat. It ain't the dress either. Get in that gym. Stop eating all them carbs. Come on now. Yeah, we give you the truth, the whole truth, the hard truth. We used to call it the ugly truth. But you know what? If you got something hanging out of your nose, do you want to go all day, get home, and find out you got a booger, a cliffhanger hanging out of your nose and nobody had the guts to tell you? Doesn't that make you feel bad, or something stuck in your tooth? You've been in meetings all day. Got beautiful teeth. But not when you got a piece of clove stuck between it. People like, ooh, got a cavity right up front. Why'd you get that taken care of, son? Looks bad on you. People don't have the guts anymore to tell you. Snowflakes. Let you walk around looking all crazy. I ask people, I'll say, hey, anything wrong with my face? Especially if they look at you and they kind of, turn away. Hey, what's wrong with my face? I need to know. I don't want you sneaking up on me with this. I want to look my best. See, we've left politics from where we want to do life, not just politics. We're too. I might hurt his feelings. What do you think? Doesn't it hurt my feelings if I got toilet paper on my foot and you're letting me walk around with it when you can see it, step on it? Hey, Kev, you got a little toilet paper, or your zipper's down. Whatever. Come on. Y'all know better. But we become genteel. We don't want to hurt people's feelings. Snowflake. Hey, speaking of hurting the left's feelings, how about this information? The leftists are stunned. Remember when Trump debated and everybody thought his poll numbers would drop? I was one of them. They didn't. The poll numbers didn't drop. In fact, they held steady. In some cases, they went up. And I was perplexed because I was like, that was not a good debate. Not the way debates normally go. Now the left planned their Charlottesville incident, and the same thing happened. The left tried to blame Trump for the violence that occurred, and the shock and awe failed. Yeah, it was shock and awe. He's a white nationalist. He loves the Klan. Yeah. After the violence occurred, the left claimed that Trump didn't deny the violence the right way. He didn't do it quick enough. And people quickly learned that the right had nothing to do with this. And moreover, there's no timetable for denouncing something when you're waiting on the information before you can denounce it. Donald Trump said, look, I'm waiting on info. You want me to make a decision? Is he guilty or is he innocent? I need to wait. You need to pick, Mr. President. What are you, undecisive? Indecisive? Is it undecisive? It's indecisive, isn't it? See, I corrected myself before y'all got to me. See, that's decisiveness. So they try to claim Trump's indecisive. A guy who's a billionaire can't make decisions. Can't tell you what he wants to put into the, the granite he wants to put into the boardroom or under the executive bathrooms. I don't know. I don't know. What do you think? I don't know. Let me see this. Let me see the swatches again. But Barack Obama. Well, let's go with the brown one. It's an earth tone. Let's do that one right there. Yeah, okay. Mr. President, you are so amazing. You're so decisive. You're amazing. You're a good guy. Oh my gosh, and you're black. That's such a good thing. I wish I were black. Oh, I am black. I'm talking like one of you people. You white folks. I'm just having fun with you. Leftists are stunned that Donald Trump is more popular in Charlottesville than he was when he started. Yeah, see, they tried the David Duke effect on him in Charlottesville. When David Duke supposedly announced that he supported Trump, and Trump was like, who is he? Oh, you know who David Duke is. Don't try to play it off there, Mr. Billionaire Playboy. And he was like, maybe I met him. I don't know. Oh, he won't even denounce David Duke. He's a racist. That's what they tried. Think about that. This was David Duke in a whole other atmosphere, right? You can see the parallels now. Just shake your heads up and down there, Mr. Producers. That'll make me feel better. Because I know you understand me. We have an understanding. So now what? Despite a constant barrage of attacks, Trump's poll numbers are higher in Charlottesville. Now, this is the Daily Wire. PBS, NPR, Marist. Now, PBS and NPR are, you know what they are, right? Leftist. Marist, the college. Gotta be leftist, right? Conducted this poll after the Charlottesville protest and found that a whopping 62% of registered voters preferred to maintain Confederate memorials as a historical symbol over removing them because they're found offensive to some people. And they say here, I'm reading, the issue united Republicans. 86% approved maintaining them and only 6% disapproved. While dividing Democrats, 47% who approved removing them and 44% disapproved. Even a 44% plurality of blacks didn't want them to be torn down. 44% of blacks. I'm giving you stats that you can help sort of figure out where we're going to be in 2018. If you got those kind of numbers, would you be happy? 86% of Republicans, 44% of Democrats, and 44% of black folks. Would you be happy? Now, I differed on Trump because he said, we need to look at both sides of the argument. You guys heard me talk about it. I differed with him. I didn't like that. I don't like it. I disagree that it is our side. We do not, the alt-right, whatever you want to call it, I don't care what you call it, does not have a home for neo-Nazis and white nationalists or anybody else. The left own these fools. Those are their clowns. And for Trump to not see that, if I was his communications director, I would say, don't try to push this is us and them. This is a strictly them event. If anybody needs to apologize for the Klan and the white nationalists, it is the Democratic Party. Certainly for the Klan. Bada bing, bada boom. 87% of Republicans agreed with Trump on this issue, and they said it was an improvement of 80% of Republicans who generally approve of the way he is doing his job. He jumped his numbers up by 7 points. But more astounding, given the media climate, his job improvement ratings went up across the board. On the overall job approval front, post-Charlottesville, Trump has improved by 4 points in Gallup, jumped 6 points in Quinnipiac compared to the previous month, and he's held steady overall. Real Clear Politics, Trump's average of approved, disapprove, improved from 37.4% and 54.4%, which is a negative 20, to 39 and 55, which is a negative 16. And I don't even believe those numbers. So, at worst, in the eyes of the media, the public has inched closer to Trump post-Charlottesville. And if you've been paying attention all day, I'm giving you all the tidbits, all the things that you need to be looking at to make a decision on this. Good example, Chappelle Nadal, Emmanuel Cleaver, and Lacey Clay, 2 race pimps, asked for this woman's resignation. They voted with the Missouri lieutenant governor and the governor. 2 white Republican men got 2 members of the Congressional Black Circus to vote for them to expel Nadal. Times they are changing, folks. The base likes President Trump, and let me tell you why. And we'll get into this more, and maybe in another day I'll tell you a little bit more detail around Nadal and why she's got to be thrown under the bus. This is a huge issue. I'm alluding to it now because Donald Trump is a rock star, and people are beginning to see it. So Trump's moving up even after the barrage of negativity surrounding Charlottesville. Donald Trump still is coming out on top. And that bodes so poorly for the Democrats. Holy cow. I can only imagine that these people are sitting in rooms going, what does it take? And one of my friends was saying, the media and the left are slowly beginning to see that whatever they do, they have done such a bad job over the last decade of just crying wolf over everything that nothing sticks to Trump. It's made him Teflon. If they had done their job over the past decade or so, maybe things would be rougher on Donald Trump. Trump looks genius compared to these guys. It doesn't stick. I personally think Trump would have been impervious to it regardless, but knowing what I know about what's happened as well, I think that the left has done themselves a huge disservice. And we'll talk more about it tomorrow.
He won't stop until he's the top-rated radio talk show host in America.
What kind of weird competitive freak are you?
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.